Bless up, bless up, bless up. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It's your boy Paul. Getting in another live stream, get my reps in. Some stuff happened today. I'm even more motivated. I'll share in a picture or something another time. All right, this might be better. Oh, but you got this light back here. Hold on. Ta-da! All right, so I'll get the lighting down at some point. Welcome. Thank you for your time. First of all, if you're watching this on the replay, bless up to you. Thank you for watching on the replay. You can put a hashtag replay. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like button and subscribe. Leave comments, questions. Today, I'm going over the voice within, the way that we speak to ourselves. And this quote, I found this quote when I was diving into this topic. That's what I do. I get a hold on something, and I dive right in. So I was looking up about communication, and this quote resonates so deep for me because of things I've learned as I've gone through this personal development journey, my life journey, and just knowing the importance of words. Good communication is a bridge between confusion and clarity. Nat Turner. So this is important because I experienced this big time over the week. I don't know about you all, but for me, I'm in customer service and customer support during the week for my full-time job. And I found the communication was challenging. It was sludgy. It was arduous. And I noticed when I got to step back and reflect, I noticed it was an opportunity, first of all, for me to practice patience and curiosity to get to what it is that people were really asking or what people were really communicating. In that space, that had me recognize, like, oh, Junk, they're thinking they're communicating something to me. I'm hearing it a certain way. Now, if I was like, I don't really care what they have to say, then it would have been a long call, and I would have been in a lot of different arguments with clients over the week. Instead, it was a matter of tuning in to, well, what is it that they're saying? Asking questions, being curious. And that's when I recognized with a couple key questions, it really settled into me that we all speak different languages. Even though it's all English, it all sounds like English. Bless up to those that are watching. If you want to put a hashtag where you are watching from or where you're calling from, bless up. Thank you. So I noticed, I said, man, everyone's talking a different language. And it's this whole message for me is in so much alignment because I'm working with the BKC. I'm one of the founders of the Brotherhood of Kings Collective. And one of the things that we've been focused on for 2024 is because we're an organization built on education for men of color, our main thing is we wanted to get out and educate and have more educator series, workshops, curriculum courses. And to get the ball rolling, I rolled out a course that I created and I adapted to a 6-week platform. And the course is called Soul Speak Mastery. I think it's relevant for this topic because I recognize that we get to be intentional about the ways that we talk to ourselves and the way that we speak to others. So in this video, I'm going to take this opportunity to go over a couple key ways that we can look at how we're speaking to ourselves and the way that we're speaking to ourselves. And I think it's going to be important. And these are some of the things that I'm going to go that's going to be covered in the Soul Speak Mastery, and then just some other off stuff. So here's what the first one is. The first one, when it comes to, well, let's talk about first how we talk to ourselves. Something I noticed, especially as I started coaching more and really mentoring more last year, I took particular notice about the ways that people were speaking to themselves. And I noticed that people listen, I'm me included. I pummel myself. I beat myself to a pulp. I'm like, you piece of crap. Why'd you do that? That was so dumb. In these random moments, I say these things that are destructive and harmful to myself. And I notice it in myself, and then I notice it in others too. And when I get them to practice making a shift or reframe in the ways that they say things to themselves, the way that they connect with themselves changes. So a couple things to take note here when we're talking to ourselves. The key thing to note is, what is our tone? So, give you a perfect example. I've been hearing a lot when things are going off kilter or things are perceived to be out of alignment. I hear people saying a lot, "What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me?" So listen to it. And usually the tone is like, "What's wrong with me? What is this?" It's like this really destructive. Or it's like, "That's so stupid." Even the tone itself is condescending. Okay. Now, once you recognize this, first of all, the tone is the tone. And now you can see, like, what is that intent? Like, even though I said, "What are you, stupid?" There's an intent of disgust, dis-ease, unworthiness. This is a sign and a signal to get to what the root of that is, to contribute to changing the tone in which you speak to yourself. Now, the second one is that is important is, what's the body language that you're carrying, which is communicating to yourself. So this is a fascinating one, because I judge that majority of people sit down at a desk. So if that's the case, bless up to you. And that naturally will get you to round your upper back, unless you have some sort of ergonomic type of device where you're looking straight ahead and you can keep your posture. Other than that, you're rounded. What is that? What's the body language saying there? First of all, you're guarding your heart. So by rounding out, you're guarding your heart. Also, you're failing to give yourself an opportunity to breathe into your confidence, into your space, into your essence. So you're basically telling yourself that you're shortchanging yourself, right? Just from being in this type of body language. That's what we're communicating with ourselves. Like, yo, we're not giving ourselves this space. And I see it a lot, even when text. I find myself doing it too. So I don't want you to think like, "You guys better change quick." No, that's far from my intention. Here, I'm focused on, like, listen, we all get better, and it's just things for us to be aware of and things for us to practice. So look at the body language, how you're standing, like, especially in moments when you're feeling victorious or strong, is your posture or stance different from those times when you may sense any kind of defeat or low energy. Just notice. And when you're in the low energy, shift it. Shoulder blades back, chest up, looking straight ahead, and notice what happens. The third one is words. Okay. The words that we speak. So, I am a piece of shit. I am stupid. Now, use a couple ways you could do this. One of my favorites is that really true? Come on, Paul. Is that really true? Am I really stupid? No. I made a mistake here. I'm going to do better next time. Okay. The words and finding different ways to describe, or finding ways of saying, for example, "I am depressed. I'm anxious." No, you're experiencing depression. You're experiencing anxiety because you're in a state, you're in a perspective. The change in the words will shift the way that you're perceiving yourself, the way that you're talking to yourself. The reason I went in this order is because the tone and the body language, when it comes to communication, depending on the study or the article that you pull up on Google, communication is nonverbal communication specifically is anywhere between 55 to 78% of communication. Either percentage you go to is more than half. So how the tone in which someone's talking to you and the tone or the body language in which someone's talking to you shifts. And it dictates what the communication is. So now let's take it back and look at how we communicate with others. When you're talking to others, check the tone that you're talking. Like, that's one of my favorite. You better check your tone. So if someone getting sassy, especially people with kids, teenagers, you'd be like, they say something, you'd be like, "Excuse me? What did you say?" Even though they're like, "Fine, mom, I'm going to do it," or "Fine, dad, I'm going to do it." Behind their voice, they were just like, that's why you're like, "What did you say?" Because you sensed there was something else. Don't lie to me, parents. Don't lie to me. But I'm being in all seriousness. You can check and hear the tone when something is authentic or congruent with what someone's saying. Like, I'm really happy for you. Or, "Yo, I'm in for you. I'm really happy for you." What were the two differences in the two? If you would put in the chat or just like write down in your notes or just like process it. The tone is a big thing. Now, when it comes to how we talk to others, I want you to be aware of your body language. One of the things I notice, especially doing a lot more where I work with men, I notice a lot of times men will stand next to me. Yeah, man. Yeah, I hear. Yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right. When you notice when you're connecting with someone, you start to turn to them a little bit more. It's like, okay, I'm more interested to what you got to say. As the conversation gets on and you become more comfortable with someone, you're most likely noticing that all of a sudden you're giving them the full front. All right, like you're like, yo, man, let's communicate. There's energetics. Okay, I don't know if I did a video on energetic bodies, but maybe that's another one. Our energy centers create these bodies. So as we engage and interact with others, our energy is engaging and interacting with others, right? So if I'm here, it's like my energy is going somewhere else, but it's like turn around. If I get more interested and more connected to someone, boom, I'm right here. It's like if you're having a serious conversation with someone or you really want to connect with someone, what's your body language saying? Like, what's your stance? What's your position? Now, this also comes into play when with any kind of conflict, and this is something that we're going to dive into in Soul Speak, which is going to be potent, it's going to be fresh. What is your position, or what's your stance in relation to that person? Are you open to them? And also the same thing with your mind. What's the position to what this person is saying? Are you open to hearing what they're saying, or are you in this mindset of I'm going to convince, convict, or convict, convince, or convert them to my point of view? So something to think about. And then the words. Listen, as I said before, the good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity. So words are a big piece. And a lot of times in our words, they're confusing because my judgment is we fail to get connected and intentional with what we're looking to communicate. And what that means is when we're going to communicate something, do you know the who, what, where, when, and why? Now, this is important when it comes to clarity because a lot of people can say some things, especially in text. A lot gets lost in translation because you really don't hear tone. So when you're connecting with someone and you're intentional about the who, what, where, when, and why, you're giving them the facts. They have everything they need to know the situation. Now you can sprinkle a little bit of story up in that piece as well, as much as you can, and be clear on staying away from too much story because that clouds the communication. Get to the who, what, where, when, and why, get specific and get clear. Another thing to really focus in on is stay away from knots. So things like, well, I don't want to go to the movies. This in itself creates confusion in language because now my brain is thinking of, well, I wonder what they want to do. Damn. Well, arcade? Get go-karts? I don't know. Now my brain is thinking about that rather than being connected. So if the person's like, hey, you know what? I want to go go-kart racing today. Let's freaking go. Very clear. Very clear. So listen, the reason that this is important is because we all communicate with each other. There's, it's 2024. You all know what kind of year this is. All right. So, there's going to be a lot of, there's going to be a lot of things and structures outside of ourselves that are going to want to divide us. You'll notice in the communication how things are communicated out to us regarding a myriad of different things. So I want you to be aware this communication is important in how we show up in the world and how we show up in relationship and how we show up even in our job, at our workplace. So take this into account. Process this. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. And what I'm going to also do here is I'm just going to share this screen. You're going to see me posting more of this. I'll get better with posting more of it. But we have Soul Speak Mastery that's coming up on April 23rd is the start date. So I just want to let you know this is what it is. This is through BKC, which is a men's organization, for-profit organization for men of color. And this course is co-ed. We want more people to get an idea of what we do here, also get an idea of how our facilitators work and how they roll. So it's going to be a really cool thing to to have men and women in the course. But one of the other reasons we're doing this is because we think it's very important for us to really look at our relationship dynamics between men and women. So this is Soul Speak Mastery. It is a conscious communication course. What the heck does that even mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. It means that we're going to be incorporating things like mindfulness, breath work, feeling, tapping into sensory. There's going to be dyads. There's going to be, it's more than giving you a bunch of information. It's also along the way supporting you in integrating it. So this starts on April 23rd. This is on Tuesdays, 7 to 9 p.m. There's going to be some homework, but it's more application and really practicing what we go over in the different lessons. Right now, the course is $197. As you see here, there's a 45 off applied. Once that, after April 1st, it goes up to $242. As far as the agenda, these are the things that we're going to cover. Really looking at how we connect and getting attached or getting aligned to what is your communication style. I found that most people have yet to really know what their communication style is. And once they identify it, things begin to shift and change because they can tailor, again, how they communicate with themselves and how they communicate with others. The second week, we're going to go into being an active listener. What? Yeah, being an active listener, because most of the time people here to respond rather than to reflect and really integrate and take in what someone's saying. So we're going to practice what are the key core concepts within to be an active listener, and you get to practice throughout the whole course. Knowing your language basis basically is connecting to what you want, what you feel, what you think, and what you see. A lot of times our language gets very murky, it gets very confusing, and we lose, what's the word I'm looking for? We lose, I guess I'll say the authenticity of the message. It gets blurred, it gets skewed. So being able to know your language basis and define exactly what it is. This is one of those lessons where it may be a little uncomfortable because people are used to communicating what they want in a certain way, and you'll experience that if you take the course. Toxic words and toxic intent is basically a little bit of what I went over today. Most of the time, people are saying things, even in text messaging, which has got this undefined way that we communicate. So really looking at toxic words and toxic intent, I found that this is, when I've taught this before, this has been a great opportunity for people to slow down in their messaging. Really look at, well, what is it that I want to communicate to this person, really? Rather than like blah, 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 just saying without speaking and really thinking about what they're going to say. And then, we got to, for a communication class, damn well we got to talk about resolving conflict. Come on now. Got to talk about that. So I got some key concepts in course that we're going to go through. And then the last week is regulation and integration, really practicing a lot of these things that you're going to be learning. There's 2 cohorts. I'm the lead cohort on it, and I got my man Jermaine. And then we got 2 of our other cohorts, or 2 of our other facilitators that are going to be training to teach this later on, that are going to be joining us. So you got a great container to help you grow, help you learn this content. So getting off of that, as you have any questions, please feel free to tap in, check in, all that good stuff. Let me take this thing off the board. Yeah. All right. Remove. So bless up to you. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Thanks for tuning in. Ooh, 20 minutes. I think this might be one of my longer ones. And thank you for joining. If you have any questions, you have any insights about what you heard today, or you have an experience on where one of these came into play, please feel free to share. This right here is the link to the event. Hold on. And I'm going to post this in the chat too, so you guys have it. So speak. Yeah, there we go. All right. And I'll put it here. So you got this here. All right. Any questions? You can always check in via chat. Check in if you're on Facebook, check in DM. If you're on YouTube, you can send this to me in a DM. That's cool too. And we're all set from there. So blessings, blessings, blessings to you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you all checking in. And if you have any questions, again, I'm here. Blessings. Be well. I'm out. Until next time. Peace.